All right, welcome to the second edition of Wrestling in the Basement. I'm not alone for this episode. Got Bryan with me. I'm
Wait,
Thor.
You wrestle alone in the basement?
I do wrestle alone in the basement, usually. That's the best type.
I think it's called something else.
We'll cover that later. This is our wrestling show. So we took it out of the main show. Now it's got its own show. We do Raw recaps. We're doing NXT TakeOver the End on Wednesday. Pay-per-views, SmackDown in July, probably. I make no promises. I'm just saying, probably. That's a lot. That would be, on a pay-per-view week, that would be 4 wrestling shows. Okay, let's just, for sake of argument, let's say it was a pay-per-view and an NXT pay-per-view week. So you're looking at pay-per-view, Raw, SmackDown, NXT pay-per-view. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot for this guy. I'm just saying. But I'll do what I can. For right now, Raw, NXT pay-per-views, regular pay-per-views. That's where we stand at this moment in time. So, Wrestling in the Basement, Basement Boy Banner production. Raw recap for 6/6/2016. This was kind of one of them Raws. I don't know. It wasn't great. It was middle of the road. It really was. The main focus of this week's show was the Money in the Bank ladder match. They started the show off with all the contestants from the Money in the Bank sitting on ladders with microphones, which actually worked out really well. It was hilarious. There's a lot of good moments in that. But it wasn't the best opening ever. And I got a little bone to pick. So like 2 weeks ago, or even last week, they said there's going to be 7 people in the Money in the Bank, right? And there's still like 1 open slot. Now to this point, they've said nothing about the 7th person, and they only had 6 ladders in the ring. And they said nothing about it tonight either that I can recall.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm curious, are we going to get a surprise entrance the night of? What the hell's going on with that? But for the opening segment, what did you think?
I think you kind of encapsulated it. It was nothing that got me crazy excited or anything, but at the same time, it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, it was serviceable. It was a serviceable opening. Then Teddy Long came out during the opening, who was a way bigger part of the show this week than he should have been. Steph came out, kind of like vetoed all his playa and holla and all the weird stuff Teddy Long does. I like Teddy Long just fine. Part of the new era. No, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? And they kind of wrap that up towards the end of the show, anyways. But so then. Stephanie says there's going to be singles matches with all the participants in the Money in the Bank. So you got Cesaro versus Jericho, Ambrose versus KO, Zayn versus Del Rio. Cesaro, Jericho is going to go right now. So then we go right into Cesaro, Jericho. It was a fine match. I mean, all the singles matches were good. I'd say they were good matches. They just, they really didn't mean anything. It was just more like prep for 2 weeks
Getting
from now.
You excited, like what's
Cesaro
happening?
won. Right? I think he won straight up.
Yeah.
He won by submission. Yeah, sharpshooter. Hit the sharpshooter. He won. It was a good match. Then we got Swagger versus Rusev. This was an AM match. It's good to see Swagger still alive because we haven't seen him in a while. But other than that, it wasn't a great match. I know Titus O'Neil was out. Was he on commentary?
Yes.
He was on commentary, and then he interfered.
Well, he got... Swagger was thrown into him.
Right.
Then he interfered
So
after Rusev won by...
Disqualification.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Being too long out
Oh,
of the
no,
ring.
the count out. It was count out. That was a count out. Right. So that match was whatever. Then we got Cena and the Club, AJ Styles, New Day. Cena, a lot of trash talking. There were some good lines in there about Cena burying people, which he's done way too often.
Yeah.
I can think of a laundry list of people he's buried by losing to Bray Wyatt, Umanga. Like there's a laundry list of people Cena's buried. AJ said he doesn't want to be one of those people. Let's hope he's not. I really want AJ to win on Sunday versus Cena. I really do, because you got to put over these new guys if you want them to be threats, or else it's just the same thing over and over again. It was just like the opening. It was a serviceable segment. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It was what it was.
I think that's the entire show.
For the most part. With the exception of a couple highlights. So Big Cass and Enzo came out. Vaudevillains. Enzo and Cass were on fire on the mics, as always. Enzo just kills the mics. Then the Vaudevillains came out. They won by DQ because Cass snapped when they threw Enzo through the ropes, similar to what they did when he had the concussion. That was just kind of a plot device, I think, because he really wasn't hurt. I'm sure Enzo's fine going forward, especially because then later they ended up making, like right after that, Teddy again. This is the only good thing about his whole visit is he's like, I'd make a match Enzo Cass versus Vaudevillains versus
The only thing that's weird
Gallows and Anderson versus New Day. And then Stephanie makes the match, but says how good of a matchmaker she is. That was hilarious.
and which commentator was like, she's so smart, she's so good at it.
That was JBL.
I love him.
He's the best.
But the thing that's weird to me, and maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but they keep building Cass like he is obviously the stronger member.
Oh yeah, he's the physical force.
Like I feel like they're trying to build him up for singles.
No, I think he's just the physical force and Enzo's the mouthpiece. I think they're gonna keep him. I mean, they're gonna run these two as a tag team. You don't. That's magic right now. Like I was reading an article saying if they can't get Big Cass and Enzo over, then like people should be fired because it's literally the crowd is so into it. It's ridiculous. It's New Day level almost. Right. Every time they hit the mic, every time they hit the ring, it's crazy the reaction they're getting from the crowd. So I think making Cass look strong is a good idea. Making him look almost stronger than he should be because Enzo is just going to be the fast talker Skywalker. Like that's who Enzo is. You know what I mean? So then we got the Zayn versus Del Rio fight came on next. That was a weird match because it was almost Del Rio just squashed him.
Oh, hard.
Like Zayn didn't even really put up much of a fight, which I thought made Zayn look weak. At that point, you want to make Zayn look stronger, unless you're trying to put him more as the underdog. So you want to get him beat by Del Rio. So then if he does surprise in 2 weeks when Money in the Bank, you know what I mean? It's that underdog story. So I see it from both sides, but it was just an odd booking, I thought, tonight.
Well,
it
it made sense when you look at the way Sami Zayn talks compared to Del Rio.
Right.
Del Rio talks like, I've been here, I've done it before, whereas Zayn, it's weird because he's one of the few wrestlers who talks himself realistically.
He's just happy to be there.
Yeah,
like, he's literally just happy
like,
to be there.
I'm happy I get the chance, and I'll give anyone else who wants the chance.
He's always talking about opportunities and stuff like that. Well, and that's who Sami Zayn is. Like, Sami Zayn's a very humble, like, person. Like, I like Sami Zayn a lot as a wrestler. Like, his character, like, his persona, it works really well. Del Rio, like we said, ended up winning really fast. Then we got Dean Ambrose versus KO, so the last match for the Money in the Bank participants. It was a good match. I mean, we've seen them wrestle before, so it wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was a solid match. Probably maybe even match of the night, I would say. Yeah, I would say match of the night because the last match was good too. It could go either way. So then Charlotte and Dana Brooke come out with Natalya and Becky Lynch, and they were
just more trash talk.
Yeah, it was just trash talk, and Charlotte tried to half apologize for what she did to her dad. I don't know. It worked to a certain extent. It wasn't. I don't know. It didn't blow me away.
Definitely
like most of the show, to be realistically. Although maybe this was the highlight of the show. Breeze Dango. The back, the back shaving thing, because you want to be aero gigantic, right? Who doesn't? The Golden Truth thing doesn't work for me.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, it was Tyler Breeze versus R-Truth, right? Wasn't that the match?
Yes.
And then that ended, it ended in DQ because everyone got involved. Teddy Long came out again, then he finally got thrown out, blah, 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 blah. That was pretty much the end of that. Stephanie's like, you're, not going to transition the new era in. She's like, we need someone smart and capable and vivacious, and said all this, very positive stuff, and then pretty much said she's going to run it, which was weird because I was just telling Bryan this just a minute ago, though. I think they're doing that because they want SmackDown to seem like a prize and not like you're getting stuck with SmackDown. Like it's the lesser of the two shows. They're trying to make Raw and SmackDown equals. Whereas right now it's Raw and SmackDown. Oh, yeah. And they're trying to equal,
Well, if you don't talk about it like it's a prize, then it will still just be SmackDown.
Well, we don't talk SmackDown at all anymore.
Right.
Like I haven't watched SmackDown in months
because it's pointless.
So but once it goes to live and it's got its own roster, I'm definitely going to be watching more frequently because there's probably going to be stars on there I like that I'm not going to be able to see on Raw anymore. Like we were talking earlier, there's no Apollo Crews tonight. Neville's coming back. Orton, Bray Wyatt. I mean, they got a lot of people. They got a lot of things I want to see going on, and there's not enough time in a 3-hour show on Monday, which is crazy to say because it used to seem like the 3-hour Raw was like way too long. Like they need to cut it back. Now they had to need it. And the other thing I want to know is SmackDown going to be 2 hours like it normally is or 3 hours? Now that's a live show. That's going to be very interesting to find out if Raw is still 3 and SmackDown's 2, or if they're both 3. So that's something that'll come up in weeks to
they'd
come.
almost have to make it 3 if they want them to be equal playing field.
You would think. Or either make Raw 2. Either way, I'm fine with either one. Realistically, I'd rather have both 2-hour shows instead of 6 hours total in a week. 4 hours total would be nicer, but that's just selfish. That's just for like self-serving reasons, pretty much. Then we got the last match of the night: New Day versus the Club, AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson. It was a good match. The Club ended up winning. Cena ended up coming out. There was a lot of after-match stuff, pre-match stuff. Xavier Woods looked awesome until he got like destroyed by one of the weakest moves, I think. That what do they call it? The style smash or splash, or I don't know. It's super stupid. His phenomenal forearm's cool. I'll give him that. But the other one is it's booty. If New Day was here, it's booty.
It's booty.
It's way booty. So that's it. Raw 6/6 2016. It was a C show. It was middle of the road. Wasn't great. Wasn't bad. It was right in the middle. So you feel any differently? Well, that's it. But NXT TakeOver on Wednesday. That's going to be some shit. Definitely doing a recap for that. He might be here. He might not. It might just be me. But either way, we're going to do one. So until then, deuces.